Welcome back to Euro Football Daily for this week's episode of Euro Transfer Talk. There is a lot to cram into the next 8 minutes, so let's get straight into the biggest stories from around the continent. We actually begin with Chelsea, who have endured something of a mixed start to the season. After spending over £250 million during the summer window, bringing in the likes of Wesley Fofana, Raheem Sterling and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, the Blues cut ties with Thomas Tuchel, hired Graham Potter, and now find themselves fourth after the Englishman won his first 2 league matches in charge. Potter may have steadied the ship, but things aren't entirely rosy at Stamford Bridge, as according to The Telegraph, Todd Boehly is looking at potential players to sign in the event that Mason Mount rejects a new deal. The 23-year-old is into the final 2 years of his current contract, and whilst he hasn't shown any indication he wants to leave, Chelsea are prepared to hedge their bets in case anything goes awry. The Telegraph believes they are following 2 of Europe's top talents as potential Mount replacements, the first of which is Villarreal starlet Yeremy Pino. Pino was a target of Arsenal's during the summer, but the table-topping Gunners didn't make a move for the 19-year-old Spaniard, who is rapidly closing in on a century of appearances for the Yellow Submarine. The teenager, who already has 6 caps for La Roja, has had a slow start to the season, with just 1 goal in 7 appearances, but he remains an integral part of the club. It is likely that in order to even engage Villarreal in a conversation over selling, Chelsea would have to top the Spanish side's record departure when they sold striker Cedric Bakambu to Chinese side Beijing Guoan for €40 million in 2018. The second name on Chelsea's list is Roma captain Lorenzo Pellegrini. The 26-year-old has gone from strength to strength under Jose Mourinho, ending last season with 22 goal contributions across all competitions and leading his side to their first European trophy in their history. The midfielder is also a regular in the Italian squad, having racked up 23 caps, although he missed out on Euro 2020 glory with injury. Capable of pretty much any role in the midfield, Pellegrini would likely cost a premium, not only for wearing the armband at the Stadio Olimpico, but also thanks to a contract that still has 4 years to run, meaning his fee could be even higher than that of Pino's. But Chelsea fans, who would you rather see in West London, Yeremy Pino or Lorenzo Pellegrini? Let us know in the comments section below. Funnily enough, Pellegrini isn't the only midfielder based in Rome linked with a move to the Premier League. Once again, we cast an eye over the future of Lazio stalwart Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, who is no stranger to transfer rumours by this point. However, the 27-year-old is now into the final 2 years of his deal, so might have slightly more say in where his future lies. After 17 league goal contributions in 2020-21 and 22 last season, the Serbian international has continued his imperious form in Serie A this campaign, with 3 goals and 7 assists in Lazio's opening 9 fixtures, more goal involvements than any player in the Italian top flight. His fine work has also helped the Eagles sort a third in the table on 20 points. So who is interested in SMS this time? The club currently making the headlines at Calciomercato are Liverpool, who are experiencing something of a crisis at Anfield. 6 different players, often led by Fabinho, have started in Jurgen Klopp's 3-man midfield to date this season, including veterans Jordan Henderson and James Milner, whilst Naby Keita is still yet to recover from a hamstring injury suffered in pre-season. And that's without mentioning new signing Arthur Melo, who arrived on loan from Juventus, also being ruled out until the new year thanks to a torn quad muscle. With the news that Liverpool's owners would be willing to invest heavily in a new midfielder as soon as January should the right player be identified, the Reds could even move for Milinkovic-Savic post-World Cup, although Lazio's strong start to the season suggests any offer would be rejected. Instead, Liverpool will attempt to sign the Serb next summer, as his contract enters its final 12 months. However, that won't stop Lazio charging top dollar for a player who could be available for free by 2024, with the hierarchy planning to hold out for a €70 million fee, a number that would smash a transfer record that has stood for the club since the 1990s. But of course, don't rule out yet another contract extension for SMS. He last signed a deal in 2018 amid links with Manchester United, and whilst he turned down a 1-year extension ahead of the summer window, he does appear tempted by committing his long-term future and possibly the rest of his career to Lazio. If you're a Biancocelesti fan, how much would you sell SMS for if he doesn't sign a new deal? Answers in the comments. Not many clubs can claim to have had a worse start to the season than Wolves. No side in Europe's top 5 leagues has scored less than their 3 goals, and they find themselves 18th in the Premier League, sweating over a potential turn to England's second tier after 5 years in the top flight. Not to add, they're currently also managerless, having sacked Bruno Lage, although it's expected that Julian Lopetegui will be announced as the new boss very soon. And on top of all that, Ruben Neves is being linked with a move away. That's nothing new, of course, but the current state of the club, as well as the Portuguese international's expiring contract, contract could see them forced into an unwanted sale. It's also well known that Barcelona are interested in the 25-year-old, and well, it looks like the Blaugrana are finally set on making a move. According to the Spanish publication Sport, this interest has resurfaced after Xavi failed in his pursuit of Real Sociedad midfielder Martin Zubimendi. The 23-year-old had flirted with the idea of swapping the Basque Country for Catalonia, but has committed to his hometown club for the foreseeable future by signing a new contract, meaning Barca's hunt for an heir to Sergio Busquets goes on. And the answer could well be Wolves' captain Neves. Perhaps the only player still putting in a decent shift in the West Midlands amid the turmoil, the Portuguese international has been an ever-present this campaign, even filling in at centre-back when required. But with his deal expiring in 2024, he could jump ship before it sinks, although as you'd expect, his current employers won't make that easy. Wolves value Neves at £50 million, a fee that Arsenal were reluctant to stump up during the summer, but find themselves in the difficult predicament of losing a star player for nothing or riling up the fanbase some more. Although if Lopetegui manages to turn things around, then the midfielder could be more inclined to buy into the club's long-term vision, of which he will undoubtedly be a crucial part. But then again, it's Barcelona, and we all know the kind of lure that they can have. He might have finally bagged his 700th career goal in a 2-1 victory over Everton, but it doesn't seem to be making Cristiano Ronaldo's position at Manchester United any more certain. The 37-year-old was linked with a move away all summer, as different board members wanted different outcomes, but a lack of consensus meant CR7 was made to spend this season at Old Trafford. It also didn't help that his agent was reportedly unable to find any realistic destination for the superstar, save a move to the Middle East. However, that could have changed. According to the Daily Star, yes, the Daily Star, MLS side Inter Miami are lining up the Portuguese international as a replacement for the retiring Gonzalo Higuain. And it appears Ronaldo would be open to a move stateside and linking up with David Beckham, not massively surprising considering Miami have reportedly laid out a £30 million package to sign him. His preference though would be to remain in Europe, but with options extremely limited, there is talk that the World Cup could be his top level swan song. To keep up to date with this story, don't forget to check out Sky Sports Transfer Centre, which you can access by scanning the QR code on screen right now. We end with a story that seems a little far-fetched, but we had to include it, as according to Spanish outlet Villareal, yes, we know, Real Madrid are interested in Atletico Madrid's Joao Felix. Still only 22, Felix has struggled to justify the €126 million that Atleti spent on him in 2019, contributing just 47 goal involvements in 122 appearances since the move from Benfica. His inconsistency has continued into this campaign, with his 3 assists all coming in the season opener. However, Carlo Ancelotti is said to be a fan of the attacker, who has 23 caps for Portugal, and following Los Blancos' failed attempts to sign Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland in the summer, he could turn his attention to their rivals' player. Of course, a move wouldn't be easy to complete, let alone the fact that Felix is still under contract at Los Colchoneros until 2026. That said, transfers between the two clubs aren't entirely unheard of. Marcos Llorente was the last player to cross Madrid, joining Atleti in 2019, whilst Theo Hernandez went in the other direction 2 years earlier. But what do you guys think? Could the two clubs ever strike a deal for Joao Felix, or is this just a step too far? So that was Euro transfer talk for another week. Which stories can you see happening? Which ones do you think are total nonsense? Let us know in the comments down below. As always, make sure you're subscribed to Euro Football Daily and smash the like button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you next time.